right, let's do this thing. What's up, everybody? AJ Reg Crypto here. It is Monday, April 8th. Time to get into another week. Very excited to be here. What's going on? How was your weekend? Hope everybody had a productive weekend. My weekend was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Went to the races on Saturday, right? Right there across the forest. There's the Dixie Raceway. I had no idea. No idea that it existed. It's like a dirt circle track, and there was a demolition derby. There were cars flipping everywhere. It was race. It was awesome. Great time. I went with Jay Chains and Ashley, who works at the secretary here and stuff. It was a really, really good time. And then I got some work done. I got a video out that day. Going to talk about that in a little bit. And then yesterday, I kind of took the day off for the most part, but still ended up writing some stuff. A little bit later in the day. Had a pretty chill weekend because this week is going to be straight hell. I'm going to be here late every day, basically, because Thursday I'm flying out to Las Vegas to see UFC 300 with the V-Chain fam. Shout out to the V-Chain, to the V-Fam. Super excited to go see the fight. Going to go do some interviews out there. Going to make some content. Going to be a really, really great time. Definitely look forward to some videos from Las Vegas. Jada and I are going to do our next portfolio update from Las Vegas as well. So looking forward to that. Cannot wait. If anybody here is going to UFC 300, let me know. We'll grab a coffee. Cool beans. So, man, so much to talk about. I really almost don't even know where to start. Man. Let me show you what's up to the chat really quick. We got Brian Bootyhead, JC, S-Dog, Mauricio Gonzalez, Chauncey, my best friend in the whole world. Shout out to Tooth, to the P-Tooth coin. That's not real. It's not really a coin, but we're joking about it. Blockchain Bonehead, Brian Bootyhead, Gazer, Karen Harris. Good to have you all here. Appreciate each and every one of you. We got about 75 people in the house. Make sure you smash like if you haven't already. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Let's just get right down to it. We have I want to put myself on this side. Okay. Take a quick look at the market here. Mackie Powers, $5 super chat out the gate. What's your number one coin on base besides Arrow? Hope you had a blitz weekend. Yeah, that's a good coin. That's actually a really good question because Arrow is the one that I hold. I actually bought a couple thousand of it on Thursday. And then looked at the chart and bought a little bit more. And then it went up 40%. And I was like, damn. And I wasn't ready for it. I looked at my portfolio. I was like, what? Yeah, Arrow absolutely ripped. You can get Arrow on Phemex. I saw it on there. I looked at it and I was like, wow, that looks pretty good. So yeah, that has been my base pick. So yeah, outside of, I'm going to have to look into it because that was actually the main one that I've been looking at and it performed very well. So yeah, I'll have to get back to you on the other. That's the only one that I hold right now, to be completely honest with you. So, all right. Thanks for the super chat, Mackie Powers. Okay, so Bitcoin back above 70,000. Love to see the market rebound. Not gonna lie, I was worried there for a little bit. Especially with all the news of Solana, the transactions, or 70% of the transactions failing. That whole jazz there. Hold on, let me find. Did I put it? I might have to pull another tab up of that particular chart. I'll show you that chart before I do the rest of the market watch here. Yeah, so I put this video out on Saturday, I believe it was. And the whole thing was really conditional. It was a conditional video about Solana where this support resistance level needs to hold. All right. And here we were on Friday. We did test that level. My theory was in the scenario where we lose this level, look to the rest of the Solana ecosystem for short trades. Okay. I didn't say it was 100% going to break this level. It's completely a conditional trade where, if we lose this level, all right, we're going down. So actually this right here, this line right here was the point where I said that. Okay. And to be fair, if we went short when that video came out, we still would have made about 4%. So my head was in the right spot, but I am glad that we held this level. Very glad that we held this level because, a lot of times I will give conditional trades. All right. And what do I mean by a conditional trade? So it's kind of like an if then type statement. All right, so let's look at where is it at? Where's it at? With for example. I talked about this chart at length last week. I talked about this chart at length. I hope a lot of you nailed this trade. If you're in the Telegram group and you missed this trade, we need to talk. We need to talk because I always say this. If we're in a downtrend until we're not. You see these blue lines here? Yes. Did I have an alarm set on those blue lines? Hell yeah. Did I have an alarm set on this support resistance level? Hell yeah. Was I worried about the EMA, trading under the EMA, bearish continuation? Yes, I was. But look at the beauty of this. And even this support resistance level, if you were worried about it getting shut down, which it kind of did. It kind of fought at that level for a little bit there. So basically, you're in a downtrend until you're not. So all at the same time, in this 4-hour group of time, WIF broke out of the downtrend, broke through the support resistance level, and cleared the 50 EMA all at the same time with bullish divergence, with a green dot on market cipher, with the VWAP going up, changing from red to green in the money flow. If that is not confluence, I don't know what else you could possibly ask for. I don't know what else you could possibly ask for. From the moment the alarm went off to the top of this trade, we're talking a 20% move in a little bit more than 1 day, almost 2 days of trading. Nailed it. So when I say, a conditional trade, condition one, we lose support resistance level. Okay. We break, further down out of the downtrend, have an alarm set on that support resistance. Okay. Or break out of the uptrend. So when we're in here, we're not trying to trade in here. We're trying for the market to tell us what to do, break out or break down, and we react to the breakout. That is how we trade. We don't guess, we react. All right. And this is literally an amazing example of my strategy put to work with a winning trade. So there you go. Also, let's look at WIF right now. I mean, this has been a support resistance level right here. We're talking, we have a touch here. All right. We fought for it here. We wicked there. All right. So we have a lot of touches of this level, which is at, 421. Okay. Right now it's at 414. So I would alarm at this level. And if it goes off, we're going to long and continue. All right. You could also consider maybe now is the time to go short. We came up this hard, right? We came up as hard. We got rejected at support resistance. Let me turn on the visible range volume profile. I'm normally getting a little bit carried away from the market watch, but I went on a tangent and kept going. And, as expected, why WIF came from this little range and popped up to here? Because look at the volume. See this gap in the volume right here? Let me put my head on the other side here. Okay. See that gap in the volume? And that's what happens. It will go to where the money is. And that works both ways. All right. So, maybe a little short idea for WIF to go from this range, to here would be about a 5% short. If you wanted to play it safe and go from the previous low, maybe wait, see if it's going to break down through 411, go from the break, and then you got a 5% trade down to 390. Conditional trade. If we do this, then we do that. Okay. You kind of want to isolate the chart and put it in a situation where if the chart does this, I'm going this way. If the chart does this, I'm going this way. You got to react to the market. Okay. You don't want to just look like, oh, it looks like it's going to go up. No. You want to react to the market. We got the Glitter Queen in the house. Thank you for being here, Glitter Queen. Definitely excited to be in Vegas this weekend. We're going to have a great time. Kenny Lowman, how is Dixie Speedway? Great time. Yeah, I'm definitely the next one. There's the next race at Dixie Speedway is on the 27th, but unfortunately, I'll be in Philadelphia for the Supercross race. This one piece of hair just sticking straight up in the air. I'll be in the Philadelphia for the Supercross race that weekend, so I'm going to miss that one. But I will be. I'll definitely be going to some races for when I'm here. All right, so let's get back to that market watch. I went on a crazy tangent there, but hey, you needed to hear it. Okay, so this side. Okay, there I go. So Solana 179, still nothing crazy from Solana. I feel that, Solana with the transactions and all that is a little scary right now. Also, there's been like an FTX sell off. I'll get that in a little bit. We got Dogecoin waking up, Cardano around 60 cents. Got to talk about Cardano today for sure. Near at 724, bought some near in around the $6 range. Glad I picked up some more near. Yeah, we just talked about dog whiff. I mean, that has been a really great coin to target. And also you really want to take that into consideration when you're when you're leverage trading. If you leverage trade, you really want to look at the coins that have the leverage. I don't know why this is on light mode. I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at yet, but I will settings. I don't know why it's on light mode. Okay, well, it is okay. Never mind. I'm just going to show you anyway. So when you're, why isn't it? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So when you're trading, okay, let me come to the screen I'm actually on. When you're trading, all right, on Phemex, what I really want you to focus on is when you look at the scroll down screen, all right, I want you to pay attention to the coins that have the most volume. The coins that have the most volume, honestly, Bitcoin, Ethereum are always going to have a bunch of volume, 307, 72. And then look, Solana, BNB, XRP, ENA, that's a new addition with a lot of volume. Doge, WIF, 15 million. Sui, Optimism. These are the coins near Matic, Phantom with over, almost 8 million. You want to target the coins that have the most volume for your leverage trades. Can you get away with, trading Jupe 5 million, even down here, Singularity Net close to 5 million? Yeah, you can. But when you really come down the list here, like say you wanted to trade like eGold or Pancake Swap or something in the 1 millions, you can with smaller trades get away with that. But you really, if you're doing a lot of leverage or if you have a larger bag and you want to quickly get in and out of trades, you're going to want to try to find the coins that have more volume, like the ones up here. So try to choose your trades based off of how quickly you can get in and out by how many people, how much volume there is on that trade. And that is, why I target WIF a lot lately, because, one, it's a hot coin, very volatile. It's a little bit predictable. When it breaks out, it runs, and it has a lot of volume on Phemex. So, I have been targeting WIF in the Telegram group, and we've been knocking it out of the park with that coin specifically. That one and Phantom have been the two big winners over on the group so far. H-bar waking up almost back to 11 cents. Love to see it. V-chain pushing up to 5 cents. Up 10% in 24 hours. The graph still hasn't completely woken up yet, but I feel like I did buy a little bit more graph over the weekend. Oh man, I cannot even express how bullish I am on that project. Phantom still under $1. Algorand just under 25 cents. Everything's kind of waking up right now, and we're definitely going to take a long look at the altcoins. Let's take a quick look at the gainers and the losers and try to isolate that volatility here. Let's take a quick look at the top 300. I'll put myself down. Wait, I want to go. Okay, there I am. Better. So top 300. Degen ripped up. Actually funny. Sometimes, in your videos on YouTube, there will be, people spamming a certain coin. That has been one of the ones that has been spammed in my comments on my videos. Up 47%. Shout out to the spammers. Geo Bowden. I actually picked up a little bit of that over the weekend. So what I like to do sometimes on Phemex, about once a month, what I will do is I'll actually show you. I will buy $100 of coins of 10 coins that I'm watching and then compare them to Bitcoin. I kind of just do it just for fun, because when you have a little bit of skin in the game, it actually makes things a lot easier. So this is one of my separate accounts here on Phemex. I'll show you really fast. So I did Ondo down $5, Shiba down 6 pennies, everything else actually in profits. Doge near bonked, all $2-3. Geo Bowden actually went down to like 85 and popped back up. Pepe dog whiff up 10. This is Arrow went up 30% from $100 buy, and Myro actually bought $500 of it and went to 530. So I do have several Phemex accounts, and I do like to just buy $100 of 10 coins just to like keep an eye on them. When you have skin in the game, it makes it easier to follow, and you also kind of like get a firsthand experience of just how the coin fluctuates. And I always like to pay attention to stuff like that. It might not make sense. Like, what's the point of holding $100? It just makes sense in my brain, and that's what matters. And I've done this, every month since I've have been with Phemex, and every month I make a couple $100 by just, putting $100 into 10 coins and seeing how it goes. So, that has been working out pretty well. All right, so back to here. But yeah, Geo Bowden, that political narrative, man, I'm telling you guys, we have watched this thing just go. I mean, we started talking about this thing, around 200 million. Now it's almost at 600 million. This thing has no chill whatsoever. All right, so let's look at the top 100 here. Neo killing, Dogwhiff killing, Lido, VeChain top 4. Love to see it. Toncoin almost at $6 again. Wow, Ethereum, not bad for Ethereum either. The losers, we have Flare, eCash, Core. I mean, Core makes sense because it's either a top winner or a top loser because of how hard it moves. Wormhole, Injective, Solana, Shiba Inu, and then a lot of things are up, 4 or 5%, which is really good to see a nice little bounce here today. And then I like looking at the 1 hour to see what's moving right now. Neo, Axie, Infinity, VeChain, and then the other way, Bonk, Beam, Athena. Oh, ENA, that's that new addition to Phemex that had a lot of volume over on Phemex. So there you go. Good stuff. Let's so people been talking about, the bull run. Obviously we've talked about this before, but I want to give you a little bit more insight. So there's kind of two schools of thinking. School of thinking number one is that we hit all-time highs too soon. And at the timeline that we know is out the window because Bitcoin pumped already. It already happened. All right. We're not going to see the bull run like we would normally see the bull run because of how early everything happened. That's school of thinking number one. School of thinking number two is that Bitcoin only went to new all-time highs because of the injection of money, of the ETF, and that doesn't change the halving. That doesn't change the narrative. We should still expect the halving a year and a half after it happens, like it has happened every time before this. Let's stick to the playbook. I am in that school of thinking, and I will tell you why. Because as a crypto KOL, that's what they call influencers in crypto, a knowledge opinion leader. Okay, so if you are get sponsored by projects, they pay you to make videos, they pay you to make content, to tweet or whatever. I am a KOL. That's what I do. I make videos on YouTube. We talk about crypto. All right. And I've seen, how much money that there is available, the ebb and the flow of how much money people can make for making content, promotional content for projects. Okay. And in the past, since September to now, the amount of emails I get, the amount my phone is ringing, the people who get deals for me call me about different things to do, it has been night and day difference. So why does this matter to you? Because the fact that more people are dumping insane amount of money into promotional content now is proof that they are gearing up for the next step. Okay. Now look at this. Same thing in this department. Crypto VC funding surges in Q1, breaking a 2-year downtrend. Look at this. Venture capital funding in the crypto space have experienced a surge in the first quarter, breaking a 2-year downtrend. Both the total amount invested and the number of projects receiving VC funding have seen substantial increases in Q4 2023, according to data gathered by Crypto Cora. The data shows a notable 38% rise in funds invested during the quarter, indicating a renewed investor confidence in the crypto industry. Moreover, there's been a remarkable 49% increase in the number of projects securing funding, a level not witnessed since Q4 of 2021. Everybody, remember Q4 of 2021? I sure as hell do. And so we have a massive influx of VC funding coming in, and a result of that has been an increase in promotional funding for blockchains. All right. So if that's not proof in the pudding that these projects are gearing up, you're not going to make a big promotional push if it's behind us. No, that's not how it works. These promotional pushes are coming for the main bull run. It is that simple. So I don't subscribe to the shortened theory. I really don't. I am actually a proponent of a lengthened theory, because here's why. The influx into Bitcoin from the ETFs, Wall Street has been on the sidelines and they've dipped their feet in. Now Wall Street's in the pool. Wall Street's in the pool swimming with us. Okay. Well, let's call it an ocean, not the pool. They're wet now, period. All right. So now that they have a taste of that crypto money, that those crazy returns, what was Bitcoin when the ETF got approved? What's Bitcoin now? Two different stories. And now, we're there's going to be a conversation over Ethereum. And if Ethereum gets approved, hopefully within the next year, the floodgates will open for everything else, or a basket of everything else, similar to what we see in the stock market. It's that simple. So my point here is that the Wall Street money coming in, paired with the halving, paired with the supply shock, paired with the increase in VC funding, with the increase of promotional money. I mean, this bull run that is coming might last longer because of how much money is going to get injected over time from institutions, period. Will there be a time where obviously, what are the institutions getting involved for? To make a profit, to make ROI. It is that simple. But there is a point here where the point is that we get out before they do. We don't want to become their extra liquidity. So there's this game of chicken where you go along and go along and go along and go along, and hopefully you press the button before it falls off the cliff. All right. But I am saying that last bull run, we saw the total market cap of crypto get to just over $3 trillion. This bull run, it's going to go way, way further than $3 trillion. And I think that game of chicken is going to last a lot longer, because there will be a point coming here probably pretty soon where we will be in 100% completely uncharted territory. Once crypto as a whole gets into price discovery, it's kind of a no holds bars. All bets will be off at that point. So, I am more in the side of thinking that it could last longer. It's definitely not going to last shorter, because now the institutions are in the game like never before. So, yeah, 10 trillion will be the checkpoint. I feel like that's fair. That's a fair assessment. This whole time I've been thinking minimum 6, hopefully 7 to 10. That has been the consensus, kind of across the board with myself and a lot of other very big influencers that I've had conversations with this about. And yeah, I can't get on board with the fact that this is going to be shorter with the influx of institutional money. Because you have to understand that the institution. So you're an institution. You're an institution. Are you just going to buy in and get out faster? No, you're going to buy in and let retail get excited, and let retail get happy, and let retail go on this crazy bull run. And when then the retail money really gets in, like that injection of money that we saw last time that we have not seen this time, that's when the institution's going to pull the carpet. That's when they're going to run. Institutions aren't going anywhere until retail is so excited. So excited. Understand that. This don't get caught on this way too early thing. If ETH ETF, then could be crazy times. I completely agree. Skittles McFly, super bullish stance here. He's thinking 20 trillion personally, and a Bitcoin alone 8 trillion. Wow. That's one hell of a statement there. I mean, let's look at that. Let's look at that really fast. What would and this story right here, it just connected a lot of dots for me. A lot of dots, just with what I've seen with companies, what they're willing to do for promotional material. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand, because they get their marketing budgets from their investors. That's how it works. It's a circle. So let's look at what would Bitcoin be at, ignoring the supply, if it went to 8 trillion. Let's go. So we're talking a $400,000 Bitcoin, about 468% pump. 400,000 Skittles. I think you might be a little bit bullish on that one, bro. I think that is a statement if Bitcoin went to 8 trillion. I mean, dude, like, it's not impossible. That's the thing, because now with the ETF, like, this wasn't possible before. It is like, is this a reach? Yes, it's a reach. I'm going to start by saying that's a reach. Start off by saying that this is a reach, but this has never been as possible as it is today, and that's kind of the point. You know, that's kind of the point. I mean, we're talking. I mean, what would a 20 trillion Bitcoin would be? Yeah, $100,000 Bitcoin would basically require a $2 trillion market cap. Wow, what a time to be alive! I could not agree more. Could not agree more. Also, I mean, it's not like people aren't getting involved. Even networks like Polkadot. Remember Polkadot? Haven't really been involved in that. Haven't really even looked at it that much since I did the price prediction back at Hit Network. Polkadot active addresses hit a record 600,000. 600,000 active addresses on Polkadot. What? I mean, to be honest with you guys, like, I'm not really involved with Polkadot. You know, the whole stuff with Gavin Wood, not really a fan. The parachains were kind of a flop. You know, it's not really a go-to. You're not going to catch me DCAing into Polkadot. That's for sure. You know, nothing against it. There's so much out there that, like, there are entire ecosystems that I might even incorrectly ignore, but there's so much to focus on. There's so much money to be made. You have to have conviction in what you run with, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Over 41% of the, or almost 250,000 of the 605,000 active addresses were attributed to cross-chain smart contract platform Moonbeam, while 191 addresses were directly on Polkadot. So Moonbeam, I mean, that's a project I haven't heard about in a little while. Moonbeam. That's right, GLMR. I remember watching this one last bull run. This was, I mean, we're talking about a coin that's outside the top 200 right now with a $400 million market cap. Interesting. No max supply. I wonder what the chart looks like on this one. Go back to, I'll just pull up a new trading view here. GLMR daily chart. Okay, so first of all, I like the kind of the rounded bottom here. The rounded bottoms do pay the bills. We kind of have a little crooked cup and handle, kind of like this, kind of idea like that. Or you could run it off of support resistance back here, you know. But see, these are situations where the edge of the cup, when it's up here, I am actually technically unsure if the breakout line's supposed to be here or if it's supposed to be here. My guess is that it would be here, because before it formed this, you know, it went up. And I would also say that it's not invalidated unless it goes below the bottom of the cup, because a lot of times what you'll see with cup and handles, I mean, you kind of consider cup handle. So what you'll see is it will get rejected and then they'll come down. Sometimes you'll see them like kind of double handle. This happens all the time. I wouldn't consider it invalidated unless it loses that level, that low from the cup. That would be a pure invalidation. I mean, would it be better if we popped up and came up like that? Yes, it would be, but it is. I've seen this situation so many times, and honestly, the daily doesn't look that bad. It looks like it's trying to bounce off the 200 here. And just like everything else from, you know, that had its local high in March there, that level becomes a target. I mean, just to get back to its previous high, we're talking a 51% pump. A 51% pump. So yeah, maybe keep an eye on this one. It has a lot of active addresses as a cross chain on Polkadot. Very small market cap outside of the top 200. GLMR. That did make my list today. One sec. Writing it down. GLMR. Write that stuff down, everybody. I'm telling you, if you're like really trying to watch this show and take something out of it, when I talk about, crazy projects like this, write them down. Write them down. Do homework on them. Figure it out. All right, going to keep the ball rolling here. All right, we talked about Bitcoin, talked about Polkadot. Do want to talk about Cardano a little bit. Obviously, if you guys were on Twitter this week, you saw the little tiff between Ben and Charles. Would like to talk to Ben about that. Actually, removal of Cardano from Grayscale's large crypto cap fund. That's kind of point number one. Point number two, Cardano's Chang. Hope you guys can see that Chang hard fork marking the Voltaire era. Which is introducing community governance. So basically, like the whole point of Voltaire is to give Cardano back to the community. So the community is what makes these decisions. Amid criticism, Hoskinson remains optimistic about Cardano's future, highlighting its robust research base and commitment to innovation. Cardano's strategy focuses on long-term sustainability and community engagement, aiming to outlast short-term narratives and volatility. And honestly, there has been a lot of pushback lately from a couple different narratives. Cardano has kind of been a little, let's look at the chart here before we continue with the story in terms of, where it is compared to everything else. So, if we kind of go from, this here being the big push down, 22 going into 23. All right. And then we kind of have this, this value area down here, like bear market value area, majority of the range here as we get into 24. As 2024 came around, it does have a cup and handle setup. We're talking, there is the breakout point. Here's the cup handle. All right. It did break out of that point. AJ chart graffiti 101. And actually, if you kind of consider how high the breakout point went up. So from the breakout point to the top of the measured move, we are talking a 66% move back to $1.12. And that level actually would make a lot of sense because back here in 2021, Cardano spent a lot of time trading in this range, kind of between, $1.06 to, $1.56, even from that to that would be a 50% move. Because even though it came up here, we're kind of counting this situation out because it's been a lot of time in that box. All right. So that's a big range for Cardano. Like we want to see it get back there. But to be fair, when you kind of compare Cardano to other coins that have been moving strictly in terms of price action, I understand why it's being criticized because, Cardano, very tribal community. Of course, it's super. I'm long-term bullish on Cardano. I hold Cardano. Am I leading my portfolio with it? Absolutely not, but I'm not against holding it. I'll talk about portfolio strategy here in a little bit, but even to kind of zoom in here on the 4 hour, right? Wow, actually discovery, bing, 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 bing. So this level I have talked about at length on Cardano. Circle, 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 circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, now 8 touches on this level. Jada and I talked about this exact level on our most recent portfolio video. Okay. Because I know she has some Cardano in the portfolio she's building. 57 cents is that level. And then this has been, the most recent downtrend from Cardano. So, really on the charts right now, not looking bad at all. Kind of had oops, I mean to draw that. We kind of have, anchor wave, trigger wave, red coming into green, coming up, and the VWAP coming up in the oscillator as the price was kind of coming down. That bullish divergence formed, and since it's popped off of that, the fact that it, let's really appreciate the fact that it did try to scare you, and it always will with these big levels right here. If you 2%. But if you tried to go short off the break at this level, that it will try to trap you. That does happen a lot, and you have to be very wary of that when you're trading big levels like this. But since then, from that level, long bounce, we have been moving 7% in 3 days, which isn't much. But the real story here is the fact that Cardano broke out of this trend line, did have my alarm set. Hope you did too. Definitely told you guys about that one in the video with Jada. So this has broken out. Oops. And it has gone past the 50 EMA and is now coming up to test the 200 EMA, where it has had its problems the last time it moved up. It was rejected by the 200 EMA. So really, we're really trying to see, Cardano get a push above, 68 cents. I mean, you could long it from here if you wanted to, but we're really trying to get Cardano to push from here to this range, kind of 15% move between 68 cents and 78 cents. So you're definitely eyes peeled on Cardano to get above that 200. So, I mean, what I will say is to keep moving. So it always kind of makes me giggle when you see these kind of headlines with Ben. Maybe I could get him to talk about it, but BitBoy Crypto declares Cardano dead. ADA founder responds with class. So the kind of a thing about institutional money here. So on top of that, Armstrong argued another big reason for Cardano's perceived underperformance is a lack of institutional money, because with so much liquidity locked up in staking, as long as it stays that way, people aren't going to be able to put big money in. I think markets are telling us very clearly, look where the big money is at, look at where it's going. TradFi's coming, getting spread around. ADA is getting left out. It doesn't mean it can still have a great bull run, but what it means is going to be limited, going to be capped until the big fish are going to come in and get their fill. And to a point, like, I do understand what he's saying there. I mean, we kind of have to consider like the just the rule of simple numbers here. It definitely has a lot more fundamentals than say Bitcoin or Ethereum with over $1 trillion market cap, almost a $500 million market cap, with a 21 billion, billion, not million dollar market caps. But when you can kind of compare the fundamentals, how much money has to be injected into Cardano to double or triple versus, how much money would have to be injected into, HBAR or Render to double or triple. We're talking two completely different scenarios. So just from a basic math perspective, I understand that. But I also understand that, thumbnails like this, I don't really think that has been saying, hey, Cardano's dead. I mean, this is YouTube, and this is the attention economy. And I feel that this is a risky move, but it's also, we're trying to get clicks. You're trying to get people to watch the video. And if you are invested in Cardano or crypto and you see that thumbnail, you're going to want to know, hey, why is this the take, or is this just straight clickbait, or does he actually think that? And I do understand the tactic behind making a thumbnail like this, but at the same time, like it did kind of come back kind of hard with Charles actually tweeting out, like, we've always been friendly, sad to see him go down this road, wish him well, hope for the best. And that kind of stirs the toxic pot of Twitter. And I don't think that's what was intended with this video, not at all. But I do see what Ben is saying in terms of even here, other people in crypto. Cardano is experiencing a lull in whale activity, according to Ali Martinez, and I follow Ali. I mean, very good trading channel. Twitter. And there is a lull in whale activity. Like it is capped by how hard it can pump. A lot of it is locked up in staking. Like, I understand these points, but I have always felt that it would be best to not ever completely isolate a community. Like, we have to understand that like crypto is a very tribal, almost mob mentality sometimes, right? And I would never ever be like, this is dead. I would be like, this needs to wake up, or like, hey, blank, why are you asleep? You know what I mean? Like, just find another way to turn it. But attention economy is the reason why that was the way it was. And it did go kind of far. And I just kind of wanted to comment that like what he was saying isn't baseless, but it's also, you don't ever want to isolate a community, especially one as large as the Cardano community. And I hold Cardano. It's not, but am I leading with it in my portfolio? No. And those are the reasons why. But I still believe in it as a community, mainly because I believe in Charles. And I met him at Rare Evo last summer. Really nice guy to me. he's kind of like one of those people that when you listen to him speak, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm in. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So it's kind of a 6 1/2 dozen to the other kind of thing. I did want to guys show you this. And this kind of a pivot from this conversation, but also kind of ties to it as well. So this is the portfolio that I built, the first portfolio I built on this channel. That was the $1,000 per week DCA. I don't know exactly where it's at because a lot of these DCAs were mixed into my private portfolio, which is why I run the numbers the way I do. But anytime I say, hey, this is my DCA that I'm buying for my public portfolio, bet your bottom dollar I did that because my personal DCA is much larger than what I'm doing for the channel. I'm not lying about these portfolios. These are very much real portfolios. They're just mixed in with my private stuff too. So, and this is kind of my point that I wanted to make, that you really want to, and when you're building a portfolio, especially a bag like this that you'll have, $10,000 to $15,000 invested into it, you're really going to want to, because there's a difference between someone that has $100,000 that, is trying to protect a little bit. And then there's a difference between someone with $10,000 who's just trying to make as much money as they possibly can. All right. And, is this a heavy, high risk portfolio? No, it's not. If I was to build like a meme portfolio or something like that, a higher high risk portfolio, it would look a lot different than this one on your screen. This one on your screen is basically designed for a 7 to 10x. All right. And I do believe that almost everything here can 7 to 10x with a pretty strong degree of confidence. And the way I designed this portfolio is that this isn't the final version of it. I couldn't find the last one before we switched to building the new one, but I'll track it down. But the point here is the stable coins got sold and I think got put into maybe Graph and Vet. I have to double check, but there's no more stable coins in this portfolio. It's all 100% deployed. But the point here is look at how I built it. So, Graph, Algorand, HBAR. Okay. Very, very, the Graph and Algorand are the two leaders, with Algorand, out just a little bit more than the Graph. I think they might be even after the final buy. But, that's kind of the point, is that, we're leading with here, and then we have, a bigger splash of Vet and HBAR. Okay. And then there's Quant as well. And because, smaller at the time, smaller market caps, slightly larger market caps, and then Link, I have more Link than ADA and XRP because Link is a smaller market cap than ADA and XRP, and then ADA and XRP would act as anchors that have these are the largest cap coins that I have 6% of each that are kind of there to hold value plus what they can. These aren't the money makers of the portfolios. They are what I refer to as an anchor pick. So the point here is that a lot of people will be top heavy in their portfolio with the coins that have the largest market caps. If you're trying to get as many X's as you can in a portfolio, I vehemently disagree with that approach, because the point here is that you want to give the coins that have room to run. And that is why I broke down this portfolio the way I did it. If I was to grade this portfolio, considering my goal is a 7 to 10x, I would grade this portfolio like a 94. All right. No portfolio is perfect, but I feel like the likelihood of this portfolio achieving this goal, especially from when I bought this. When this portfolio started, the Graph was half of what it was now. Algorand was not 24 cents. You know what I mean? Like at the time, this was an amazing portfolio to follow. Yeah, for you guys that have followed me since the start of this channel. This channel has not even been around for 6 months yet. So, but I did kind of want to touch on that and kind of use it as a segue to talk about Cardano. I like Cardano. I don't think Cardano is going to die, not at all. But 6% of my portfolio. It's not 10. It's not 19 or 16. It's 6 because it's an anchor pick. And if you're trying to get as much return as you can, you're not going to lead with Cardano. And that's kind of like my take on this. Kobe Ty, when you say 7x, are you saying 7x from this point in the cycle? 100%. Yes, I am. Yes. we really have only caught the first pump of this. I mean, now that, so basically when I was in Miami at UFC 299, that was the local top. And then we dipped from now. And now we're coming back up to test that. Hopefully it becomes, an up channel where we put in a higher low. And then now we're going to put in a higher high, and all the targets from where we fell down, those levels all become targets. So really, now that we're bouncing off support resistance level, now really isn't a bad time to start piling in some more capital. I also had a super chat I missed from Nel Santiago. Hey, bro, where would XRP market cap be if it reached $5 this bull run? No problem. So, excuse me, all you got to do is go to this little handy moon math website that I love so much called thecoinperspective.com. And, so you come here, you put in XRP, okay? And then if so your target price for XRP, $5. So for XRP to go to $5, it would require $275.3 billion market cap, which would be a 710 increase from right here, which would, 7x. I would really like to see that happen. There are known unknowns with XRP tokenomics, so I'm not going to get into all that right now. But XRP has been suppressed. It has been continued to be suppressed. And there is a point with XRP where I kind of scratch my head. And I'm glad that I haven't completely bought a lot more of it, because there's obviously been points in times where I thought about being a lot more vocal about XRP. But, similar to Cardano, it's an anchor pick. These are large market cap anchor picks that you want to have a little bit of. It's okay to have some exposure to them, but they are not the make or break factor of your portfolio. They are not the high risk, high reward element of your portfolio. These are coins that will probably do fine, that will probably underperform, but you have them there more for safety than you do returns. Like I said, you want to give the coins that have room to run. So when I come back to, my main thesis here, that, you look at, you have that XRP, you have Cardano. So I have two top 10 picks, both in the lower half of the top 10, $33.9 billion here, $21.4 billion here. Do you realize how much money, regardless of tokenomics, regardless of the multiplier, how much money has to come into these market caps for these coins to go double, triple, 4, 5? An insane, mind-blowing amount of money, where with a fraction of that money, VeChain 5xing a lot easier than Cardano 5xing. Phantom at 2.6, Arweave at 2.2, Algorand at 2 billion. Doesn't take much for Algorand to 5x from here compared to Cardano, compared to XRP. And that is why the spread of my portfolio is the way it is, because the coins that have room to run have room to run. So there is, my thesis here. So boom, boom, boom. And yeah, Ellie, said that she mostly got, out of XRP. And yeah, I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but 6% of my public portfolio is XRP. Period. That's it. I'm not really trying to get stuck in coins that don't move. I'm trying to pivot to be in the right coins at the right time. So like you kind of follow the narrative. I mean, like look at what Mackie said about Arrow. I on a whim read about Arrow. You guys actually told me about Arrow a couple weeks ago, and it was on my list, and I wrote it down and I looked at the chart. Thank God I looked at the chart when I did, decided to buy some, and caught a mean, I'm talking a mean like 30-40% overnight. Bought a couple $1,000s of it, and it went 40% in one night. So here it is right here. I don't know if this is the full chart or not. I don't know if that's when it's launched or not, but this thing has been on a pretty sick run. You kind of consider, the gist of the uptrend here. Okay. Right now it is pretty far away from the EMA on the daily. A little bit scary there. So kind of got a little bit of a broadening ascending channel here. Also kind of scary where it got stopped at. Let's actually zoom in on this. Is this a double top, or is this a slightly, this is a 4-hour chart, excuse me. Or is this a slightly higher low? Excuse me. Okay, wait, let me actually get rid of the dual band strength index. All right, to a slightly lower high on Arrow here. So, now we kind of got to think, levels of where it could stop, here. here. These are all levels that it could fight at on the way down. And obviously the biggest one would be here. And the point of intersection between, I'll get rid of all the baby levels in between. They're not as necessary because that's really the one you really want to hold. This would be right around $1.36. And the point of intersection between the downtrend and that support resistance would be April 15th. So a week from today. So we would really like to see if this thing comes down for it to not lose that point. Not saying it's guaranteed to come all the way down here. It could bounce off of this level and go. I'm not saying that, but it's just good to be aware of that. But it is very interesting where it got shut down. But yeah, I mean, I got into this thing on Friday, and we're talking 44% move almost overnight. So not bad, not bad. Okay, so Jason Owen says, AJ, we are wearing the same shirt today. Hell yeah. Speaking of that, I did do a grogger drop just last week. I ordered a couple, actually I'm trying to pull it up for like my friends and family and stuff. It's a really clean, just very clean across the board type drop. It's kind of a tribute to the HBAR community. I've always been big on HBAR. Here it is right here. Share this tab instead. So this one is a big shout out to the H Barbarians with the little Grogger logo right there. Just kind of a clean, simple shirt. I really like it. I mean, we are going to do a lot of like some ADD crazy crypto bro type shirts, and then we're going to have like simple designs like this that are like kind of tributes to each community. Using all the profits, to use for future giveaways, future merch giveaways, HBAR giveaways, stuff like that. It's only $25, or if you want to get the organic version, it would be $29.99. So there you go. If you want to get involved on the next Grogger drop, there it is right here. Only 100 are getting put out. I'm pretty sure 60 of them went off the shelf already. So I think there's about 40 of them left. So definitely check that out. If you get a chance to. PNG. Yeah, I could check it out. But Chauncey says he wants to look at ARC block. So Chauncey goes first because he's my best friend. How high can INJ go in the bull run? I don't know. I'd have to do a proper price prediction on it. And speaking of price predictions, someone said, will you be doing updated price prediction videos, for example, like from the originals you did at HIT? Yes, I have been. I know that. Listen, I am well aware that I need to make more price prediction videos. One, they're the best for videos that I put out on the channel. Two, every time I do one, I get a lot more followers. I get more subscribers. I get more engagement. I understand it's a high engagement factor of the channel, but lately I want to make other content work on the channel too. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm just a price prediction guy, because before I was just the price prediction guy at HIT Network, and that was fine, and that was my job, and that's how a lot of you came to know my face and came to follow my story, and that's great. But I also want this to be a very like educational, technical analysis, reliable news source. Like I don't just want to be the price prediction guy. So obviously I have been a little bit gun shy to do as many of them as I did before. Should I be doing one once a week? Yeah, I should. Will I get back to doing that? Yeah, I should. But I'm also really trying to find more content that works for this channel other than predictions about the future. It also kind of puts you in a spot because even when I did my optimism one about, I said like 350 to 550. When optimism hits 350, people freak out like, oh, it already hit that. I'm like, yeah, it's the lower end of it. Like when it gets to 550, call me. Like it's okay. But you kind of put yourself in a situation where like if you're wrong about one thing, the problem is that people don't do their own homework and their own research and completely rely on what one person says. And then if that does or doesn't happen, or is an undershot or it's overshot or whatever end of the spectrum, if you're too bullish or too bearish, either way, like you become the target because that person put all of their faith in one thing without doing any additional research. And it's a tough spot to be in, man. it's a tough spot to be in. The thing is that we haven't seen a bull run since I started doing them back at Hit Network. So really, like, 0 of them have been put to the test. If anything, I feel that I saw with my price predictions, I watched the mistakes that Ben has made and other people have made with doing them, and have tried my best to avoid making those mistakes. I will never give a definitive date because no one can see into the future. I will always give a range of time, and I will also give a range in price and my personal target. So I've definitely have found ways to go about it, but at the end of the day, like, the last thing I want is to be like really wrong about just one, which is why I put so much work into them when I do them. And because of that, it's a very time consuming video to make, because I look at absolutely everything. I go far down to tokenomics. I'm pulling out GON fans. I'm running dominance comparisons. I'm looking at other coins in the ecosystem that have the same types of metrics. Dude, I go so far down the rabbit hole. And I think the reason I've been a little bit gun shy with them is because of the amount of time it takes me to do it and everything I just mentioned before. So I think that if people use them as a research tool instead of this is my price target, like, I would feel a little bit better about it. And I know I'm not the only price prediction guy, but there was a little bit there when I was at Hit Network, when I actually found my own footing in crypto. There was a point in time where I kind of was. And, it's not that I don't want to do them. It's not that I'm not going to do them. I am going to do them, but I don't want that to be the heart and soul of this channel. I have so much more to offer to crypto and so much more knowledge in my brain other than predictions of the future. Especially, I don't want to become a walking contradiction, because when it comes to technical analysis, what do I always tell you guys? Don't predict, don't guess, react. That's how I've made my money trading. That's why people ask me for advice. That's why you're watching this channel, because I have learned how to react to the market and have made the money I've made along the way. It's very significant. I've come a long, long way since I started writing for Ben back in Maryland 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. I've come a long way in a short amount of time. The come up has actually been pretty sick. It's been sick. And it's not that I don't want to do them. It's just that I want everyone to see that I have a lot more to offer. There's so much more to it. So much more to it. So hodl the line. AJ, not a crypto question, but what was the Under Oath albums that you listened to? With too many O's. My favorite Under Oath album has to be Their Only Chasing Safety. Yeah. And then Define the Great Line would probably be my number two favorite album. Yeah. I think probably Young and Aspiring is my favorite song from Under Oath. I'm super big on Under Oath. Really big on Thursday too. I just saw Thursday live about a month or two ago when Goody was in town. That was a great time. Do you have alarm set up for Algo Bitcoin? No, I generally don't go Bitcoin charts. Basically, what I've discovered is that I have in the past have traded off of like ADA BTC or ETH BTC. I have gone down that street before, pretty hard actually. And I have discovered over time that I would rather denominate in the dollar. It's easier for me. And when you don't, here's the thing with trading, and I'll look at a couple charts after this and then I'll call it a day. But also there's about 250 people in here. Smash the like. Thanks for being here. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. And then Chauncey wanted to see a chart as well. But the thing with trading is that there's so much to it. It's a very broad space. When someone says, "Oh, I'm in a crypto," I'm like, all right, like what about it? What are you doing? Are you hodling? Are you yield farming? You in the DeFi? You leverage trading? You flipping NFT? Like so much to it, a lot. And what I've discovered is that I don't need to do everything. You just need to be really, really good at one thing. And if you can exploit that and have an edge on the market, that's all you need to do. You don't need to be a rocket scientist and know every aspect of every single thing ever. Like you just need to be really good at one thing. And over time, the trading strategy that I've developed from trial and error and getting absolutely wrecked, I've been there and I figured out what works for me. And that is the most important thing. So like, I don't experiment with ADA, Bitcoin, algo, Bitcoin. I've tried before, didn't work for me. I'm going to stick with what works for me. For dry powder, yeah, I have like a mix of USDT and USDC. It's just the way it has worked. Most of the time, because with Phemex I use USDT. So, all right, what was the coin Chauncey wanted me to look at? I'm gonna look at a couple of charts. I'm gonna call it a day. ABT, okay, only for Chauncey because he's my best friend in the whole world. Everyone knows this. Obviously, definitely shout out to cryptochips.io. They've had my back since day one of this channel. If you want to get that H Barbarian shirt, there it is, right there. I copy and pasted the thing in the thing. I put it in the thing. The thing's in the thing. All right. I'll share this tab instead. Was looking at the graph here a little bit on the 2 hour. The graph is in such a weird spot. Before I look at Chauncey's pick, it's still, kind of getting rejected from the 200, and which is also this massive support resistance line that has been, tested many, many times. This level is at 35.9, so basically 36 cents. Have an alarm set at 36 cents. Hopefully the graph will break out of that level and break out of this downtrend. Like I said, with the whiff trade, you're in a downtrend until you're not. So I'm not going to be trying to leverage trade this until it breaks out and above. But obviously the graph in my personal portfolio is one of my largest holdings. So obviously we'll always have my eyes peeled on the graph. ABT, ARC block. Oh man, Chauncey with the sleeper pick. Chauncey with the sleeper. Let's go. Hell yeah, Chauncey. Let me make my face smaller. I'm not important right now. All right, so I mean, we're talking from the end of January, over 1,000% in 74 days. I have no idea what this project is, by the way. I'm only one person, but even since the retest, 80% in the past 3 weeks. So basically the point of this chart has been, the top of this has held that floor. So now you want to see the next leg up hold that floor. So if it goes, you're going to want to see it like work in a staircase, which is how it has worked before. Upstairs. So that has been the pattern before. So we want to see that repeat itself. I mean, right now it's in discovery, so I really don't have much to say other than it doesn't look bad, that it has momentum. I would like to see it, break that. I wouldn't really be trying to trade it unless it broke that and kept going. But when something's in discovery without anything to go off of, it's just super hard to do TA on because there's nothing to catch it. You need previous support, but really you kind of got to rely on the momentum oscillators. And obviously it is in the green in the money flow. It is, has positive momentum. You can't even really appreciate a volume profile because the volume will all be below because there is no price action up here yet. So there won't be volume up there. So it is super hard to do TA on something that is in discovery. Someone wanted me to look at INJ, but Chauncey, if you got that in January, you're basically a god and you should have a channel and I should quit. So INJ, let's look at the daily. All right. So, okay, this is actually super interesting setup. So I bet that little squiggle on the side there is my previous volume profile. I bet you it is. Oh, there it is. And it's still sitting where it was before. So basically, we have a quick ascension. I'm talking, that rip from this old value area, quick through because, there wasn't volume. You see that big gap in the profile? That's normally how these things work. That's why things move fast because there's nothing to catch it. So we're talking a 74% move, 150% move in 20 days from, the $16 level in November of 23 to here. Since we entered 2024, INJ has been in this range, okay, for the most part. And then it has the highest high as the outlier. So, you kind of consider this part from here to here quote the value area. All right. So this would be the quote the value area. And then this would be, the high. Okay. So, and we also successfully have bounced off of the support resistance here, which is great, which is really good, 16% in 5 days. So let's say INJ continues and goes to the top of this range, which I'm sure it will in time, back to $45 would be a 28% move, 29% move into the top. You're looking at a 52% move to get back to that local high. So, on say like a 4-hour chart, which you're also going to want to pay attention to here, is the trend that it's in. Oh, I mean, do that. So you're going to really want to consider and respect the fact that, it has broken out of that original pattern, unless it's forming another one. That's actually very interesting. Huh. Yeah, with a hard short exit means hard short exit to me on high IQ means go long. Also bullish divergence, anchor wave, trigger wave coming into the green, got a green dot. Yeah, I think right now this thing looks pretty primed up, to be honest with you. I wouldn't hate to see a move to like maybe that top, to like that little local high, kind of get up to here, about 13% trade. Yeah, I'm gonna mark that one. I think that's a pretty viable trade. I mean, I'm not talking about timing right now because we're looking at the 2-hour. On the 2-hour, it actually looks terrible. It looks so bad. Yeah, right here and now, it doesn't look the best, but we are zooming in pretty hard. That doesn't mean it won't pump. It just means it's gonna stutter a little bit, because kind of what happens is these things kind of pop up and then they kind of scallop over and then they'll kind of go again if they do. Kind of look at so many of the pumps. Like look at the behavior of this coin. This is really what I want to talk about before I sign off here, is that it's one of these coins that when it moves, but then it'll keep you guessing. It'll keep you guessing. Then it moves, and then it'll drop, and then it moves. So it's kind of like a stutter step kind of thing, and less of a momentum kind of thing. So, I mean, look at this journey here. This is probably a highly manipulated coin, because look at this, and then and just to get from here to here, this is more volatility than most coins, is what I'm trying to tell you. That's not a bad thing. And the little pump, and also consider all the previous pumps it's had, right? Like I said, like from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. These are quick, volatile moves. We haven't had one. It's actually been bleeding out. So if anything, I would say with the money flow changing, that INJ would be expected to have another one of those quick, sharp pushes. It's just a matter of when, and this thing could continue to bleed. On the 2-hour, it is, kind of got a bearish divergence with a 14 -5 on the dual band strength index. Right here and now, I'm not telling you to go long, but levels to consider, obviously this local low here, the support resistance down there, and then the middle of this range. Like if it fell to this level, which has touched many times, $34.04, that would be an alarm level for me on INJ. And the point of control is actually above it. So maybe, maybe something like a touchdown to here. The point of control actually just changed to that level I drew, interesting enough. So maybe a push down to here and a pop might be nice. So yeah, keep an eye on it. Definitely see if it's going to try to get above the 200 and set an alarm at $34.04. So there you go. INJ. Boom. You guys rock. So make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to have some videos coming out this way too. Oh, Ben's wearing the same shirt. Yep, because I gave them out to the people in the office. Why not? So I am, just quick heads up, I'm live streaming. I live stream today. I'm live streaming tomorrow, and I'm live streaming Wednesday. Then I'm going to Vegas. So no live stream Thursday, no live stream Friday. Maybe I'll do a live Vegas live stream Friday, maybe, but I don't know how busy we are going to be with all the UFC stuff. I know there's some stuff with VeChain that's coming, some pretty big news, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm super excited to go to Vegas, going to make some content there, and I'll also be recording some videos here to put out while I'm gone in lieu of the live stream. But time will tell. You guys rock. I appreciate you all. Thanks for spending your Monday morning with me. Do something today to level up 1%. I talked about this. I did a nice rant on Sunday in the Telegram group. I don't really focus on trading most Sundays. I'll post some positions, some strategy stuff, but really I want Sundays to be like a motivational day, like a day to kind of like dig deep and like understand like why you're doing this, what your goals are, how you're going to get there. Because I think a lot of thing is that I think people get attracted to crypto because of the nature of the instant gratification type world, and really the idea of crypto being an easy way, an easy life hack to make money is the furthest thing from the truth. Getting in crypto is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, period. Getting in crypto is not a lazy man's road. This is a very hard game. So take it seriously. And I do just kind of want people to dig deep and be able to, I want people to become better traders by becoming better people. And certainly, so today, your homework for today is to just like find a book and read it. Like, I don't care if you read fiction or if you read something technical or something motivational, like those books back there, but people who read have better attention spans. You can train yourself to have better attention spans. It's kind of about rewiring your brain and rewiring your presets to becoming a higher functioning person, and to be able to like have that motivation where what would seem hard before is now your base level because you're growing. So I guess my homework is, I don't care if you're reading a fiction book. I don't care if you're reading anything. Just read for at least an hour a day. I don't care what it is. It increases your neuroplasticity and teaches your attention span. It lets you be able to focus for longer. Increase your retention, like the memory, how much you can remember, and all of these things you need to be a good crypto trader. Crypto traders need to have bad memories, but not really. You know what I mean? So just read a book, man. Just like, or go for a run, or like, I just want people to just be healthier. I'm taking a really holistic approach in my group, and I just kind of wanted to give that to some of you guys, and it's been going well. I've obviously have gotten a lot of hey, Goosebumps works. I'm cool with Goosebumps. Whatever works. With the haunted mask. Shout out to the haunted mask, right? But yeah, just why not? Also, if anybody wants to sign up for my Telegram group, send me an email at ajalphagroup@gmail.com. We will get you signed up. I think we're just under 100 people in the group. We've been going for about 2 weeks now. I've been going very, very well. A lot of people in the group have already, paid for, the group has paid for itself already. I mean, it's not like a crazy amount of money to be in the group, especially for what I'm offering. I've been in other groups before that are way more expensive than mine, and I'm actually doing more work than they were. So if you want to take your trading to the next level, you kind of need, that extra push, that extra help to get you through here. I promise you, it's not all floofy motivational stuff, but the floofy motivational stuff is actually what made me the trader that I am. Jada and I, as I talked about before, we would read this money blessing affirmation book, and you create consciousness, and energy creates reality. So if you focus on something long enough, you can think something into existence. You can do that if you really, really want it bad enough, and if you try. So that is what got me to where I am. So of course, I'm going to try to help you guys by sharing what I did. So that's what I know how to do, and I'm giving it hell. So if you want to sign up for the group, send me an email. We'll get you signed up. One day at a time. You guys rock. Get rich. Don't get wrecked. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Smash the like on your way out. Peace.